Inglorious Bastards is a 2009 film, and it's one of Quentin Tarantino's biggest and best films. It is a one Tarantino film that doesn't really feel like much of a Tarantino film because, in all honesty, Inglourious Basterds feels like something that could have been made decades ago by someone like a Stanley Kramer or Otto Preminger, Howard Hawks. What ultimately gives it its Quentin Tarantino sort of nature is the dialogue. Quentin Tarantino is one of those guys where no matter if you love him or hate him, he makes such insane dialogue with really everything. It's funny, it's insightful, it's all around entertaining. If this was made like how many decades ago by someone like a Howard Hawks or a Stanley Kramer, then the one thing that would be missing would be that insane kind of dialogue, that Tarantino, darkly funny, smart-ass sort of thing. One thing that really everyone can agree on is the performances in this, with the shining jewel being Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz as Hans Landa has gone on to be widely revered and regarded as being one of the very best villains in the history of film. And when you look at regular villains, I don't mean like superhero villains, but in terms of film's non-superhero villains, Christoph Waltz as Hans, Inglourious Basterds, was pretty much the last great one. The year before that was Heath Ledger as the Joker. And the year before that was Javier Bardem in No Country for Old Men. You also have such great villains as Hannibal Lecter and Nurse Ratched from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. But after Hans Landa, you didn't really have a whole lot of villains that could go down in cinema history as being all-time greats. The one that you could kind of argue would be Thanos from Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. But again, that's superhero stuff. Whereas Hans Landa is, even though he's a fictional character, 100% realistic. When I saw this film at the theater, 2009, I was 14. Didn't know who on earth Christoph Waltz was. Of course, I knew Brad Pitt and some of the others. I knew Eli Roth. But, didn't know who on earth Christoph Waltz was. Totally blown away. Wow. So anyone that's not familiar with what Inglourious Basterds is about, ragtag group of Jews that band together to destroy Nazis. It's a World War II, and of course there's different areas in which this operation is happening. And, of course, due to how many Nazis that there actually was way back when, their biggest mission is to destroy the Third Reich guys first. The group of the bastards is led by Brad Pitt, and his name in the movie is Aldo Rain. Brad Pitt does a really good job in this as well. And we get to know some guys that he's banded together with, like one of the guys is Eli Roth. I thought it was really cool seeing him. And there's some other people that they end up recruiting, some others that they end up meeting up, and they have personal vendettas of their own against some guys of the Third Reich. The thing that really makes this movie timeless, aside from the whole entertainment value of the super razor-sharp Tarantino dialogue, is the very concept of Jews in World War II trying to destroy Nazis. That's awesome. World War II, all 6 years of it, was the darkest time in pretty much all of human history. Like, the whole idea of that was to destroy anyone that was Jewish. So what Tarantino does is He takes such a horrifying piece of history and he flips it upside down so that the underdogs, the Jews, actually get their redemption. They destroy the Nazis. They destroy the Third Reich. They are the ones that get the last laugh on Hitler. And this revisionist history vendetta film, it's unbelievably satisfying seeing such terrible people, even though, yes, as I said, this movie is fiction. It felt very realistic. Well, see what could have potentially happened. It was so awesome. And of course, because Tarantino happens to be a very talented filmmaker, and he's channeling his own Howard Hawks, he's channeling his own John Ford. That just makes everything more timeless feeling. Not because it's a World War II film, but you could really tell the maturity that Tarantino shows to this particular piece of work. Now I want to give Inglourious Basterds from 2009 4 stars out of 4.